Hello, hello, hello. Gather round. Welcome to Save Your Bacon, a advice comedy podcast where we think we're helping. My name is Will.
And my name is Zane. And just to show you how much we care, we have paper master degrees in therapy taped loosely to our walls so you can tell we're both professional and a little self-sufficient.
One day we will upgrade from this sad truth of having paper master degrees on our wall taped loosely. But until then, hey, Zane, how was your week?
My week was good. I spent all of it going to bed at 7 a.m. because I was up creating an album, a music album that's now on.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna start with a plug. It's now on.
Okay.
It's now on
Love it.
Spotify and iTunes and pretty much everywhere.
Whoa, dude, yeah. Love that.
If you type in my name, you'll find it.
I just wanted to be really excited for you because I am.
Thank you so much. It's called What a Colorful World.
I have listened to a couple of them already. If you listen to this podcast, which you do because you're here, you will probably recognize Red.
Yeah.
They're all color coded, so it's really easy. Even the child can figure it out. So color coded. Listen to Red, and you'd be like, "Well, that's familiar."
Yeah,
and
for
then,
sure.
And then you'll want to listen to them all. Do that. Yeah.
Will, how was your week?
Let's see. This week, highlights of this week. I tried all of the flavors of the new Diet Cokes.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
The one that I'm just finishing now is the blueberry acai, and it tastes like Coke.
What?
But I had one. That's Coke. Blueberry acai Coke. That's Coke.
That's just the original flavor.
No, but there was one that I had that there were a couple that were really good, but the one that I had that I really want to talk about, I think it was called Zesty Blood Orange or something like that. It was literally spicy, and like no joke, I can do spice pretty well, so I'm not like a ketchup is spicy sort of guy, but it was unpleasant because I normally go to drinks in order to remove the spice. And so it felt very bad to every time I was like, oh, spice, not good. And then I went for more, and then it was more spice.
Spice, not good. Let me sip one more time.
I don't think spice was made for drink, so I was not a huge fan. Also, what happened this week to me, I went to Duluth, Minnesota, very famous town, the owners of Duluth Trading Company, the original, and I went to Duluth Trading Company, and I was expecting to spend $40 on a new pair of undergarments for myself. Spent $5, and gosh dang, those are the best underwear I have ever worn. I didn't wash them between yesterday and today. Cut that out. Edit that out. And no, I bought multiple pairs because they were so dang cheap. It is by far the greatest underwear I have ever owned. Duluth Trading Company, if you're looking for sponsors, hit us up. Because I'm already so on your side. It's crazy.
Absolutely. And I think we all know, this is important to lose. I have not been to your company, but I trust Will when it comes to underwear talk. So
Why?
I'm also... You know, we've lived together, you know.
We have lived together, it's true.
So you know what? If you sponsor us, I'd rock your style too.
Also, before we get started, I want to say really quick, Zane and I checked our statistics, and neither of us had checked or had plugged the podcast this week. Both of us forgot to, and we looked on, and not only did we have a really great week for the last episode 11, but we just hit over 500 downloads total, which may not sound super crazy, but is actually like really huge and really exciting and very encouraging to us as a startup with nothing before this sort of podcast. Anyways, a comedy advice podcast. I will get started. This question was brought to us by Maddie Borner. Thank you, Maddie Borner.
Thank you.
Maddie Borner says, hey, I got invited to karaoke, and I really need the perfect song to show a boy I'm worth marrying. So I'm wondering what the best and worst karaoke songs are. Thanks. P.S. My instinct is to sing Fergalicious. Is that what you were going to say?
It's definitely on the list. There's no way it's not on the list. Fergalicious.
How much karaoke have you done?
Just a good amount. Just a hefty amount. A lot of the... probably last month I did some karaoke.
Oh, really?
Nah, and I ain't karaokeing around either. That's It's like the underground fight club of college is karaoke. You just walk down the block, you'll find a hot door that's leading to a basement that all of a sudden you're like, what kind of weird betting money on the ponies type of gang if I walked into. And then you'll
what kind of dog pit if I walked into? Yeah.
You'll hear Eye of the Tiger. I can't tell
if you're being serious or not.
About karaoke, yeah, no, I'm actually being serious about karaoke. It's weird that I'm being serious, but I am.
Wait, you can actually walk around and find places that are just doing karaoke in Boston?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
There's a place called Limelight that's like 3 blocks away from me that does it. I'm kidding you not. Every night.
Wow. That's super cool,
so
actually. That sounds like so much fun. We don't have that here. I remember, so I know that my brother and me recently did a question on karaoke, and not only did I want to reinforce the fact that what they said is true, is that you have to be really careful about what song you choose, because the song that you think is like funny or like would be good for karaoke may end up being like super boring. I've had that happen with like the only instance of karaoke I've like ever done.
What did you do?
I've done it like maybe 2 or 3 times, but the most recent one was at a work party at a place just like a little cafe here in town that I worked at, and it was like it was the Christmas party, and for some Zane, you'll think this is funny because
good.
I mean, hopefully just in general. No, because I for some reason decided to do If I Were a Rich Man from Fiddler on the Roof. It's so cringy just to think about. And then I went to a cafe work party for Christmas, and Will got up on stage and thought it'd be cool and fun to do If I Were a Rich Man. Yeah, I did that for 4.5 minutes up on stage, and it was just dead silence as people felt so much secondhand embarrassment for me. Don't do what I did. Don't do a show tune just because it's the only song you know the words to. Just do your work, as the other podcasts have said in the past. Like, do your work to study this. I enjoy the concept of what you're doing, because you're saying, what song should I prepare?
Yeah, I'm going to give you the good, bad, ugly rundown of karaoke preparation. You're going to need a good song, a bad song, and a straight-up ugly song. And when I say ugly, I mean dirty. Like if the crowd is... like, if you're going up on stage and you're already getting booed and everything, you're like, all right, I got to break out the ugly song. And this is going to get everybody on my side, all right?
What's an ugly song?
So, I'll get to it. Bad song...
Oh, okay, sorry.
Bad song, don't do Afternoon Delight. Because this is thanks to Arrested Development. I've learned never to do Afternoon Delight.
Okay.
Jason Bateman starts singing Afternoon Delight with his niece, and then halfway through the song,
I remember that.
Halfway through the song, he realizes what the song is about, and if you're with your niece, don't duet that with her.
Yeah.
Big. Also, if you're alone, that's the other key thing here. That's why I say it's a bad song. If you're alone, also sad to do that song.
You can sing whatever you want because there's nobody else at the party. No, but if you're the only one singing, don't do that song. Okay, or just don't do that song. I don't think it's a great song to do in general.
Yeah, good song. The Tequila song, because you stand there for like 3 straight minutes. Saying
tequila.
Nothing until you say tequila.
Tequila.
You will stand there. If you've ever seen Andy Kaufman do the Mighty Mouse thing on SNL, if you have, I love you. If you haven't, it's fine. He goes out and the Mighty Mouse theme song starts to play, and every time Mighty Mouse says, "Here I come to save the day," he mouths, "Here I come to save the day," and he motions. But the rest of the song, he just stares emotionless at the crowd. And it's basically that with tequila. You will just stare the crowd down. Like a "what have you done" stare. But then as soon as it gets to tequila, have a blast. And then let them know that the party hasn't even started yet. Like, just keep staring at them. Please don't pick any classical piano for karaoke. I'm thinking of Flight of the Bumblebees right now, and I swear to God, if somebody goes up there and is like,
"Do not choose Flight of the Bumblebees,"
I'm picking Flight of the Bumblebees, and it starts playing, you just go, if you just start doing that,
and then when it gets to 2 hands, you start doing like the alien noises where you do 2 pitches at the same time. It's not as cool as you think.
But Will, out of all these songs, I've got the top doggo song that is the ugliest, best choice that you could have at karaoke night. And then the best way to picture this is, imagine you you're defeated. You get down on your knees and you stare at your reflection in a pond, and you start saying to your reflection in the pond,
inside the karaoke place.
Yes, it's no good at all to see yourself and not recognize your face. Out on my own, it's such a scary place. Ooh, the answers are all inside of me. All I gotta do is believe. And for everyone that hasn't caught on yet, this is when it starts to build up. You look back up at the crowd and you start just singing to their faces. I'm not gonna stop, not gonna stop till I get my shot.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
who I am. That is my plan. Will end up on top. You can bet on it, bet on it, bet on it, bet on it, bet on me. Bet on it.
You gotta sing
from High School Musical 2, sung by Zac Efron, is the Sword of Damocles. It is the key to the throne, but also the song that will kill you.
Okay, sounds good. Sing "Bet on It."
Yeah.
From High School Musical 2. That is my gift to you. That's our gift to you. You're welcome. Your turn, Zane. Please give us a question.
You got it. Okay, this question comes from the local Spider-Man, and
thank you.
This question is, how expensive would it be to build the Magic School Bus?
What are the operation costs for upkeep for the Magic School Bus?
This person needs to take a trip both inside a cow and to Pluto, stat, and they need to know what is the most budget-friendly, eco-friendly.
Yeah, okay, was the Magic School Bus like a green bus?
Nope. Definitely just the color of bus.
Well, no, I mean, like, was it, like, metaphorically green? Was it
eco-friendly?
Not
just
there, like, color. Or was there black smog coming out the back? I remember the color of the frickin' bus, Zane. No, I'm talking about, like, is it eco-friendly? Did it help the environment? I feel like that'd kind of have to be the consensus if you're going inside the human body, that you're not leaving smog behind.
Oh my god, right? I didn't think about this.
Right, like you go, yeah.
Oh god, I don't think the buzz was eco-friendly. And so there's just literally gasoline fumes trapped inside this person's body and polluting space already. And oh god.
Yeah. Okay, so I just thought of something. Magic School Bus has done a lot of different things. It's shrunk very, very small, able to change humans into the same size it is when it does so. It is impervious to any sort of space conditions. Mm-hmm. It can fly itself. It can turn into animal shapes. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, I know.
And it can drive itself, and it also has freaking eyeballs. So what does this thing have that Ant-Man and Transformers put together can't do? I think this should be like a fight scene of like who would win, like Optimus Prime versus Magic School Bus.
And then when they tie, they become one.
Yeah, and then it becomes the head of Optimus Prime, and it just speaks as Bussy the Bus.
Can I just?
Did you know its name was Bussy?
Yeah, I did. Heck yeah, Bussy. I did. Bussy, aka the Magic School Bus.
Oh, are we looking on the same wiki?
Yeah, you know it. Magic School Bus wiki.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the concept that now needs to be discussed? Is the argument now that the Magic School Bus is a part of the Avengers, or that Ant-Man and Optimus Prime have merged together and now live in secrecy within the Magic School Bus realm?
Yeah, I like to think that Optimus Prime, Ant-Man, and the Animorphs of Danny DeVito all got together to make one child in a disgusting pool of love, so that the Magic School Bus can turn into a bat, snail, frog, hen, ladybug, bear, Gila monster. I don't even know what that is.
Gila monster. It's the second deadliest lizard in the world.
No way. That's very cool. And the tortoise. How much would it cost to create the love child of Danny DeVito? Not Danny DeVito. Animorphs. I just love the Danny DeVito one. So Animorphs, Optimus Prime, and Ant-Man. What would it take?
It sounds like it's. First off, I'm gonna really quickly read.
Collect the goods.
I'm going to really quickly read an out-of-context trivia fact and then jump right back on topic.
Sure.
Trivia topic. The Magic School Bus seems to have a deep caring for the students. All right, now jumping back on topic. That's all.
Was that it?
Yeah, that's all.
That's what you wanted to say?
Yeah. I just love the weird thought that just like the bus has emotional connection to the people that are on it too. The thing is, it sounds like it doesn't cost money. It sounds like it costs
love,
multiple amounts of luck that you find within superhero films. Like when Optimus is discovered, you need that amount of luck, and then with chemical just like merging with your body luck that superheroes have, like when Spider-Man gets bit by a spider and then just magically gets the abilities of Spider-Man. Like, you just need to be lucky with chemical components and finding magical robot aliens from outer space. And then also, you need to find Danny DeVito's address. That's probably the hardest one.
Yeah, that might be the hardest one. Yeah, so what we're basically saying here is that you need to make a pact with a ghost to trade all the luck that you would get in the rest of your life and just spend it all at once in order to make this happen. That means every single time after this, you're always going to get the knob on the toaster wrong, and it's always going to be a little too burnt or a little bit too light. Every single time you're going to plug in a USB, and it's going to be on the wrong side. Every single time you're going to drop your phone, it's going to fall on your face because you're absolutely out of luck to make this happen, but that is the price to create the Magic School Bus.
I just realized the perfect way to build the Magic School Bus. It's very easy. Go into the deserts, find the temple, go down into the temple.
Oh my goodness.
Find the lamp, rub the lamp, release Will Smith's genie.
Ask for Magic School Bus. Is that the only way we can make this happen?
You ask for you ask for the school bus, you ask for the kids, you ask for Miss Frizzle. Those are your three wishes.
No, but is that really what you want? Do you need the love of the children in order to power the bus, or can you give it new love?
No, it's like Buddy the Elf getting the sleigh off the ground for Santa Claus. It can't just be any old guy. It's gotta be Buddy the Elf. You need the children for that bus. Bussy loves kids. Did you not hear my trivia fact? He has a deep caring for the kids. Ooh.
Can I say, welcome back from the grave, Bussy. I have new children to offer you to sacrifice.
They have to contractually agree to what they're about to be. Yeah. Because
that means, so we have to bring the parents of the children from the Magic School Bus to consent for the underage minors.
If the parents get involved, then
Bussy acts like a normal bus.
It's
goes incognito.
It's a problem. Bussy, he just becomes normal Bus, not Bussy.
It sounds like Bussy is the problematic one then, who doesn't ask for consent from parents.
Miss Frizzle says...
Didn't age very well, did it, Magic School Bus?
Miss Frizzle says, we're going on an adventure. The kids, do we need permission slips? Bus says, no, get on me, let's go.
We don't need permission slips where we're going, Simon. Jumps inside body. Yeah.
Where are we going?
Goes to
Pluto.
Goes to literally Pluto, yeah.
Your parents aren't going to agree with that. How do you know? Well, because you're going to take your helmet off and kill yourself. Now,
you're going to literally die by turning your head into a popsicle.
No parent's going to approve.
This is the consent form for popsicle heads at Pluto. Please sign here. Yeah. I hope that helps. That we did answer literally how to get Magic School Bus. It just takes either Will Smith or a pact with a ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, my turn?
Yep.
Okay, let me do that for you then. Okay, this question comes from Mac Daddy. Thank you, Mac.
Thank you.
This question says, I have a question for the next podcast. So I was watching a video last night that talked about the health benefits of taking a cold shower every day. Now, let me just say that I love a nice hot shower, and I generally feel like a hot shower is probably one of the most enjoyable things in the world. All of these things got me thinking, though. If I start taking cold showers, will the rest of my life become more pleasurable because I'm no longer finding joy in a hot shower? Or will I slide into a deep state of depression because I don't have the activity that sets a standard of joy in my life? Or will my life stay the exact same, but some other mundane activity will fill my joy hole? Please help Will and Zane.
Okay, so basically, too long, didn't read. Fill my joy hole.
Fill my joy hole is... Will fill my joy hole? Okay, so Mac has learned that cold showers are really good.
Right.
But she loves hot showers, and so she's wondering... If she switches to cold showers, will she lose all joy in her life and slip into depression because she doesn't have the standard for joy? Or will everything else in her life become more enjoyable because she isn't putting her joy in the shower?
I get where you're coming from. I will say this to everybody on the podcast. I love every one of you listening. If you take cold showers, you are literally Frankenstein's monster, and I will have to... send an army of people after you to have you dead.
I think that I've tried cool showers. I've gone outside. I've gotten really sweaty in the middle of summer. I've gotten sunburned. I've come home. My clothes are drenched in sweat, and I'm like, this ain't gonna be a hot shower. That sounds like death. And it's been a cool, lukewarm shower, and that has been very pleasurable. But to purposefully jump into a cold shower when I know that there's an option to bring myself to a hot shower on a normal day sounds like I would be amazing if that was it. If I could convince myself to do that. And I get what you're saying. You are an alien from a different planet because nobody has that much discipline in their life.
Right. And this every time I wake up, I don't know about you, I swear to God, I wake up cold every single time I wake up. So it is the perfect relief of finally being awake to take a hot shower. Mind you, it is the hardest thing to stop taking a hot shower when you know that you've got like work to do next or something like that.
So the idea is that maybe you'll save a bunch of time because you won't be caring about how long you're sitting under the hot shower. I have that problem.
Legitimate advice. If it's the summer, you have nothing to do at all. It's just free time. Don't kid yourself. Take a hot shower. What are you doing? Just relax, be happy, and then do whatever you want afterwards. Fine. You enjoyed it? Great. Keep going. If you really have to get things done, there is a sense of satisfaction you might get from having taken a colder shower that'll force you out of the shower faster so you get more done. But in no way will your mind be as happy, because I promise you, while you're getting the work done, it's gonna be like a bad breakup. It's gonna be like the whole time you're thinking like, man, I really could have handled that shower a lot differently. Oh man, this could have been hot. This is on me. This could have been hot. Yeah, this could have been hot. What did I do? And it's not the shower's fault. It's my fault. And
this could have been my hot personal time with me in the shower. Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna call that shower. I'm gonna call the shower and I'm gonna try and make it work. And then
the shower could have been hot. It had the potential to be hot.
And then you're going to shower a second time, but too soon, and that's when things are going to get messy. Because that's when you're going to throw off your groove if you take a hot shower, and it's not going to be nice because you took a shower again too soon. And now you're going to be confused if you like showers at all.
Then you're going to think, maybe I don't need these. You're going to get dreads so that you don't really need to wash your hair.
Yep. That's when the bubble bath phase starts.
Yeah, okay, I was actually going to bring up something about that, because I feel like, I wanted to ask you, Zane, I feel like the older I've gotten, the more that I have learned to just distrust baths as a whole. And not even bubble baths, because I can't remember the last time I've taken an actual bubble bath, because I don't know where in my life now I would actually find bubble bath soap. Like, what do you call it? Like, I don't know where that exists in a store, and I'm too afraid to ask at this point because I'm 23 years old. But when I do take a bath, I feel like I'm just more wary each time, because I live with 6 others, that there is just so much human gunk lined on every inch of the wall of that tub that I can't get myself to do it more than once every like 3 months. And after that, I will have to shower just to make myself feel okay about who I am.
You've mentioned something that I could not agree more with. Every time I've ever taken a bath, when it's done, it's like I need to shower
to get the bath off of me.
To get the bath done.
I don't understand baths. Let's just rule that out. Let's say don't take a bath. That is a madman's query. I don't know if I used that word correctly. But I don't think you're going to go into a deep state of depression. I think as soon as you slow down from your new fast life, you might get hit with a little bit of depression. Because you're going to take that quick shower and you're going to feel so good and like ready for the world. You're going to dry off in like 10 seconds because you're not worried about being cold. You're already cold. It's just going to be a quicker process. You're going to choose your clothes faster. Your brain is going to be alive and well after this, and you're not going to be wanting to go back into bed like I do after I get out of the shower every single day. Yep. You're going to be twice as productive, but the moment you stop, I tell you right now, you are going to feel like trash about who you are because you are missing something you're probably addicted to at this point, which is hot showers. And so build a habit up. Don't give yourself a moment to think about your feelings. That's what I would say. Don't you dare think about just where you're at in life and what your feelings are supposed to be telling you. I think that's foolish.
Yeah, key factors here. It's a drug that you're already addicted to, so you might as well not quit it. Otherwise, what's the point in life? Yeah. And don't ever bring your emotions into it. Don't ever try and bring common sense into it, because what's the point at this point? You're already too far gone. Hey, Will, do you want another question?
Yeah, I would love that.
This question comes from Unicorn.
I want to let you all know that you can check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. You're already on one of those, most likely, but those are the other places that you can find us. And I want to say really quick before Zane takes over for me in these middle parts that we've uploaded in the last couple of weeks a couple of clips actually from before our first episode was ever released of a couple different like segments and questions that we took that we decided not to put in the first episode that are fantastic. So there's a little bit of extra content there that wasn't there before until after I think like episode 10-ish we put them up. And so those are on YouTube if you want to check those out. Just a couple little clips. I know we've said before that YouTube is a really great way if you want to get people into the podcast, which word of mouth is, by the way, the best way that stuff like this podcast gets spread. If you want to send like a YouTube of just like one question specifically in the podcast that you really loved, that's a great way to share it because every single question that gets asked here gets segmented and put into a nice little concise video that you can look up and share easily with your friends.
Yeah, and heck, speaking of questions, if you haven't sent in a question or you keep wanting to send in questions or more questions, you can always email those questions to us at saveyourbaconpodcast@gmail.com. That is saveyourbaconpodcast@gmail.com. Also, we have Twitter and Instagram, as always. They're both the same user, at Zane and Will. And you can use hashtag SaveYourBacon or hashtag Zane and Will to find us quicker and easier. Obviously, you can DM us on there. Email is by far the easiest. I got a question today through email that I'm going to read at some point. So thank you for that. Thank you so much for actually being a part of everything and actually sending in your questions, because it means the world to know that you guys are trying to actually be a part of this, because the show...
Okay, now give me that question. I won't interrupt you this time.
Okay. I don't believe you. This question comes from Unicorn Maiden 96. And the question is, is there any way to import a kangaroo to Phoenix, Arizona?
You've come to the right place, friend. I said that like I had an experience about importing kangaroos, but okay, I've recently found out about this. There's actually a pretty live scene in Australia. Like, did you know that there are kangaroo farms for harvesting kangaroo meat in Australia?
What?
Yeah, I just found out about this too. There's that and one other thing that I thought was really interesting that's not applicable at all, but I might share it anyways. Okay, so yeah, there are farms because kangaroo meat is so popular, I guess, in Australia that it wouldn't probably actually be that hard if you bought a farm kangaroo to get it shipped to Arizona. I mean, it would be incredibly expensive for shipping costs. It might cost you just as much for shipping as it would to buy the kangaroo, but I think it's actually doable.
That's a weird key factor here, because isn't the kangaroo on one of those lists of something you can't have as a pet?
Is it? Maybe that's a U.S. thing.
That's why I was wondering, because I was thinking about taking this a jokey way, but now I'm interested. Like,
yeah, did you know that kangaroos can't walk backwards?
Yes. Well, they also can't walk. They hop everywhere, you idiot. But
okay, shut up. It's because they walk, you dunce. They bounce. Okay, yeah. Also, okay, the other thing I wanted to say was if there are any non-American people listening to this won't make any sense to you, so tune us out for the next 45 seconds. But I found out this week that everywhere else on Earth, they look at us Americans and they're baffled by why we eat peanut butter. The average European, yes, like today, the average European household intakes less than 1 tablespoon of peanut butter yearly.
Oh, wow.
That's how terrible they think peanut butter is. And I, over spring break, had 6 peanut butter sandwiches.
I won't lie that bananas with peanut butter is a great breakfast.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Like, is that the craziest thing you've ever heard? Okay, that was not applicable at all to importing a kangaroo, but it was just things that I thought were so crazy about the rest of the world because I'm an uncultured swine. So if you want to actually import a kangaroo, I think this is literally feasible. As funny of a question as it is, I don't know if you can have it as a pet you might have to illegally register it as a pet, but I'm pretty sure tigers are also one of those things you can't really have as a pet that people do anyways.
There are now multiple scenarios playing in my head. Can you find the loophole of getting yourself a kangaroo if you were to say that it was for your farm?
For
now
meat.
That we've if you'd said, oh no, you want it as a pet? No, I just want to eat it, that's it, but I need it to be alive first.
Yeah, okay. Also, the wildest thing ever, like the fact that like the kangaroo is their national like animal or whatever in Australia, that's like us saying like the common day cow is our favorite animal, is like the American animal. Like if we ate bald eagle as a way to like serve our patriotism, that would seem pretty weird, right? But that's literally what they do in Australia. They eat kangaroo, and it is their animal.
Also, fun fact: something about kangaroo kind of feels like a Pokemon, because I think it is. I think it's Kangaskhan.
Because it kicks so hard.
It's Kangaskhan, and then the Joey ends up becoming Cubone. You guys all know this. You guys are all Pokemon fans. This is a Pokemon podcast. Your one-stop shop for
Welcome
everything
to our
that's all about.
Pokemon podcast.
My name is Ass Ketchup. Welcome to Pick a Man. The show where you pick a man, you knock him out with a steel ball, and then you chain him up in your house.
You knock him unconscious with a steel ball and keep him there for the next 8 months as you try to beat other people that stand in houses all day long waiting for people to challenge them. So
back on that good topic.
Thank you, Mr. Ketchup.
The other thing that I had in mind now that you say how crazy, like, do they think that we're gross or that we're weird about peanut butter?
With the peanut butter thing? I think, both, right? I mean, if they think it's gross, then it's weird to eat it, right?
So if that's the case, what if we told them, like, we need a kangaroo, and they're just like, we can't give you a kangaroo. It's totally not cool for us to give you a kangaroo. And we were like, you guys know peanut butter? And they're like, ew, yeah, gross. What about it? And we were like, we found out that within hours, if we had enough kangaroo, we could wipe the U.S. clean of peanut butter. Do you think that you could make some kind of weird, fake offer to the Australians that by giving us kangaroos, we will be able to get rid of the peanut butter in the U.S. And then we won't look so dumb to everybody eating all this peanut butter. And they'd be like, finally, now America's not going to look as stupid as they usually look.
Only thing, Zane, the only flaw in that plan is
what about it?
We got the 500 downloads.
Oh.
And that pretty much means that anything we say on here is known by the government.
No.
So that plan's ruined right there.
No, you're right. We can't give real advice because everything we say ends up being discovered. So sorry to the Magic School Bus guy. Yeah. Will Smith knows not to pop out when you rub the lamp.
Yeah, Will Smith knows at this point. Shout out to Will Smith. You can come and be a guest on our show whenever you like.
Ha!
Yeah.
That's dope. Okay. Oh, thank you, Will Smith, for being on the show.
Thank you, Will Smith.
It's great for you to be around.
Are we gonna get copyright? Are we gonna get copy striked for saying his famous line? That's dope.
No, because he said it.
Okay, sounds good. Hey, I have a question for you.
Hit me with it.
Jake Edwards sends in. Thank you, Jake Edwards. So I was a TA for a class at my university, and one of my main duties is to answer all emails sent into the class email, which is mostly students explaining why there will be a class that night if they can reschedule. I try to be somebody the students see as helpful and who actually cares about them individually. There are 160 students in the class. So I try to answer their emails as if I'm talking to them in person. About a month ago, I was replying to some emails from 4 nurses, 3 girls, 1 guy, who were letting me know they wouldn't be at class that night because they had a very important nursing exam called the TEAS exam, if you're familiar. I replied like I normally would, but at the end I said, "Good luck on your TEAS exam," with an exclamation mark, followed by my signature. A girl who was sitting next to me saw the email and said in a very judgmental tone, "She's going to think you're hitting on her, and you shouldn't include that part at the end," which was, "Good luck on your TEAS exam." I think that because I sent the same email to 2 other girls and the guy, I wasn't hitting at the girls all at once. What do you think?
I like the little twist this question took at the end. I was thinking I think since I sent it to everybody, I got away with not hitting on anybody, but I think since I sent it to all of them, there's no way that they think I'm hitting on them all at once.
It can't be all of them at once. Okay, follow-up question. This is from him. As a TA who is the same age as the students in the class, how can I balance being friendly to the students while not seeming like I'm hitting on the girls when my only communication medium is email? Do you struggle with this? With like how to like actually speak with people of the opposite gender in like a business like polite way that like lets them know that it's like, yes, I do care for you and wish you well, but I'm not hitting on you.
Everybody, I feel like saying this sounds so dumb, but I've had conversations with female friends about this.
Really?
With like every time I message a girl, they think I'm hitting on them. And then I have to tell them that I'm not hitting on them. It's because I'm a positive person and everything I send sounds flirtatious. It's just...
Zane, you are a positive person.
So like, I talked to one of my friends after I was shooting a music video, and it was just a moment of like, do you remember when I first messaged you, like coming into Emerson? They were like, yeah, it was like very out of the blue. I was like, did it feel like I was hitting on you? And they were like, yeah, definitely. I was like, I literally messaged everybody in the incoming class that year and was just like, hey, you seem awesome. Like, what are you into about like whatever? Because I wanted like to know everybody that was going to the school and like what they were into, so I knew how I could work with them when I got here. Because this is filled with people that are interested in the same things as me, so I wanted to be able to collaborate with as many people as I could. But a lot of people thought that it was really just flirting.
It's not a you thing. It's an everybody else thing. Like everybody has ruined it for you is what I'm saying. Like there are enough people in this world who their only intention is to hit on that person by messaging them that first time. That the expectation is that when you are doing it, that is also what you're doing. And so I know that you of all people are not planning on doing that with those people, and that you are actually just trying to make friends. Yeah. But for everyone out, for the listeners out there, like, if you're doing this, it doesn't matter what your intentions are. Like messaging person for the first time. Obviously, Jake's scenario with like messaging people as the TA is completely different. But like for messaging a person just like online, like towing that line of just like courtesy and like hitting on them is so narrow that it's just like scares me away from ever having communication with actually a lot of people. And it's just like so many people have ruined it for the people who just want to make friends by messaging them, because you know you're not going to like see them in person for a long time. Like it just isn't possible. But okay, getting back to what you were saying, Jake, I think it's hilarious that you are doing your job and being a positive person, and there is a person who just wants to invade your whole like technology space for a moment just to let you know that you are coming off as like hitting on the person. And I really don't know what the female like perspective is for this at all, so don't call me an expert on how they're going to perceive this sort of thing, or us as experts at all for how they're going to perceive this thing. But I literally have no clue. I guess you just have to be a jerk. Like, I guess you have to just be the most robotic person.
Isn't being a jerk like more attractive? Therefore, they'll start flirting back. Like, isn't that how it works?
Oh my goodness, I've had like people in my life say, you know, I'm really surprised that like I didn't take you as a person who would like ask me on a date or something like that. And I was like, why? And they're just like, because you actually seem sort of nice. And I'm like, wait, what? Yep. I don't get it. Yep. This is a place where I can relate, because I know that you felt that way.
In high school, yeah, it was just like all of the like, everybody would say something like that. Oh, you're so nice and sweet, or something like, can't believe you're not with somebody. Then they all run off and they're with, and it seems like it's such a stereotype, like it would only be in movies, but when you're a part of the theater group at your school, I can promise you, it's not just a movie stereotype. Everybody just runs off with someone that's terrible.
Oh, yeah, no, and it's like, we're like, this is like towing the line of like humble bragging like super hard about the stuff. It's not like this happens to me that often, but it only has to happen once for it to be like an incredible thing in my life. So it's just like, I don't know, like being a nice guy in my opinion is always the right thing to do. And I know this isn't funny or anything, but like Jake, just keep keep doing it. And if people think that you're hitting on them, I know it's your job, and I know that's a different line, but just like save your emails and be like, this is exactly what I showed. Cover your butt is the rule that I would I would tell you. The only thing, just like record every single email, save them all, so that if anybody actually does try to say that you were hitting on them, you can show them to people who know better and be like, nope, this is what I was doing.
Okay, well, do you want another question?
I do. I want a funny question.
All right. Well, here's not a really funny question. Just for you.
Throw it in the garbage can.
All right. This comes from your friend.
Oh. Those are my friend. Okay.
Yeah. The username is jerk. The jerk. I'm gonna do it again. Jerk that spoils movie endings. And the question is, I was recently playing a board game with some friends, and during the game, one of the cards had a spoiler on it about the ending of Harry Potter, which has been out since the early 2000s. One of my friends was in the middle of reading the series, and I spoiled it for him. My question is, what's the appropriate amount of time a movie has to be out in order for it to be considered a spoiler?
Okay, I need to give context for this because I got it spoiled for me, and I hate him for this. I was on spring break with my bud, and he gave me a Harry Potter spoiler, and I'm still reading book number 5 because I never did it, and I haven't seen the last couple movies. And so a big thing happens, and it just
don't you spoil it on our podcast.
I'm not going to do that. I care about people too much. And so I know that there's somebody out there who would be thankful. And so, like, it just says, this person kills this person. And I had looked at the card previously and been like, that's a good joke. And then I put it away. But then he said it, and everybody just looked at me because I was like, wait, is that real? And they all looked at me, oh, like I had literally just had my dog, set on fire. And, like I was actually devastated because I was getting close to reading what was actually going to happen. Is it different with bigger series?
There are so many factors to this question, because that's why I was so happy that's
okay. Because if my other friends had been like, "Oh, that's not real," and if they had said that, I would have been like, "Cool," and I would have just kept on writing it. But the astonished looks on their face told me that was the truth, and that I should feel betrayed by my bud for saying that person killed that person.
By definition, if you say something that happens in a movie to somebody that has not seen that movie, no matter how long the movie has been out, it is a spoiler. The thing that you need to know when you're talking to someone is, this is all that needs to come up. Well, A, did your friend know you were reading the book?
Yes, I was reading it at that time. I had been reading it on vacation with him. He saw me reading the book that morning.
All that needs to happen, especially if it sounds spoilery and you know what's going on, just before reading whatever it is, say, has everybody seen this, or has everybody read this?
And that's usually what happens, and he just slipped, and I want to forgive him, but I can't because it's evil.
As soon as you know, even if it's a classic movie, if you know how it ends, where's the incentive to keep watching? And also, you don't get as impactful an ending during the moment.
What is the revenge that I need to set upon my friend?
What's the vengeance?
What is the appropriate level? Because he thinks he's not at fault. That's what the question is implying here. And I've talked to him about it, and he's like, oh, no big deal, because it's been out for so long, Will. How do I destroy him? How do I make him wish he wasn't born?
What you do is you set it up this way. And friend, if you're listening, zone out for just a hearty moment.
Yeah, stop listening right now. Thank you.
What you do is you steal his car, and then after a day, you return it with a note that says, I'm sorry, I was a robber in a bank robbery, and I needed to get away with car really quick, and your car happened to be the closest nearby unlocked one, and I just needed to use it to get away. I stored everything I needed to, so I thought I'd return it. As an apology, here are however many tickets to the next big sporting event. My treat. This is legit. This really happened, and I think you could really pull this off. Here to the next big sporting event. Take your family, friends, everything. Just go have a good time. My bad. Then, the day of the event, when they leave, and they are at the sporting event, rob the house dry of everything.
While they're gone.
This really happened. This really happened.
Such a good idea because you know exactly when they're going to be gone.
Exactly.
Goodness
and it seems like
that's devious. So I'm going to give you one more question. How does that sound, Zane?
Sounds wonderful.
This last one also comes from Maddie Borner. Once again, shout out to Maddie Borner. Thank you.
Thank you.
She says, one of my professors consistently makes jokes about cocaine. Mm-hmm. He seems like the kind of guy who would definitely not do cocaine. But with all the remarks, I've begun to wonder, how do I actually get to the bottom of this?
How cocaine?
How do you actually find out? What's the way to sleuth out that your professor, whether he does cocaine or not?
Do you want a legitimate answer? Really quick?
No, I'm tired of legitimate answers. We're not here to give real advice.
Well, if you wanted a legitimate answer, just look at the length of one of his fingernails.
Oh my word, you're so right. It's always the pinky or something, right?
The pinky or thumb, I think. Whatever it is.
I read that in a Stephen King book. I mean, that's not the first place that's been done, but his most recent Stephen King book, it's like a incriminating artifact about the bad guy. I'm not going to give away anything else.
But if you wanted a real, just a real, not real fact of how to get to the bottom of it, just after class, just walk up and say, "Hey, cocaine. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant teacher." And just look for any nervous twitches.
The sweat running down the back of his neck.
All of a sudden, spotlight. Oh, yes. You got him, and they'll look right at you and just say, "What did you just say?" And then just say, "Teacher, I was just I had this hard problem with my homework last night. I was really wondering if you do cocaine. I'm sorry, I meant if you could give me any help with my math." And just
come up to him and say, "Hey, I have a complaint about another one of my teachers," and he'll be like, "Oh, what's going on?" And be like, "Well, my other teacher for detention was making me do lines." And he goes, "Huh?" "Yeah, doing lines." What do you mean doing lines?" "I mean, like, you know, writing lines if I will not do this again." Oh, yeah. Like
yeah.
Okay, I understand. Yeah.
You gotta get him to just let himself. So
my question is, if you ever got me in detention, would we get to do lines together, and just see where this leads you, see where the conversation flows. And I know it sounded a little flirty, and it can, if that's what you're going for. That's not a recommendation, but
there's nothing more flirtatious than doing cocaine together.
Yeah, well, or even just doing lines.
If you wanted to be a little bit more just vague with it too, you could just be like, "Hey, teach, I've got a problem with one of my other teachers." And they'd say, "Well, what's the problem with your other teacher?" You could say, "I think my other teacher is doing cocaine." And then if the teacher is like, "Can I buy some off of them?" then you know that they probably are interested.
That's a really good indicator. Also, if you go up to your teacher and you say, "Hey, I have another problem with one of my teachers," and they're like, "Oh, what's that?" and you say, "They won't do cocaine with me," and to see how they respond to that, that's also a very good indicator as to whether they do cocaine or not.
If you walk up to your teacher and say, "Hey, teacher, I got a real big problem with this school," and they say, "What?" and you say, I was setting the world record for the longest line snorted during lunch today, where I combined all the tables and spread out my cocaine in a line made up of about 40 to 50 feet. And the lunch ladies got really mad at me. If they say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, that sounds so terrible. Hey, do you still have some left over?" they might be interested in cocaine.
They might be interested in cocaine. If you go up and say, "Hey, I have a problem with what happened with like just something going on in the school," in the same way, and they say, "Oh, what's that?" and you say, "Not enough cocaine," and they're like, "Yeah, dude, same, yeah," then you might have an indicator that they're doing cocaine.
Yeah, if you walk up to your teacher and you say, "I have a cocaine addiction," and they say, "I also have that," then they probably are interested in cocaine.
Are doing cocaine.
If you walk up to your teacher and before you say anything, they say, "Do you have cocaine?"
If you walk up to get help from your teacher and they say, "This is what will help," and they give you cocaine, that's a good indicator that they do cocaine.
If you walk up to your teacher and say, I just tried all the flavors of the new Diet Cokes, and they say, I didn't know they made cocaine in diet nowadays.
The spicy cocaine was the worst one by far.
If you said, I tried the spicy Coke, and they said, yeah, it stings a little bit the first time you snort it.
Usually I do cocaine to get rid of the spice, but this one just kept on adding to the spice. Yeah, that's the worst. Absolutely. Man, those are all really good ways to tell if your teacher may or may not do cocaine.
Yeah.
I hope it's pretty clear to tell which answers they're going to give will tell as to whether they do cocaine or not. Like if they come up and you say cocaine and they say cocaine, then that means they do cocaine.
Yeah.
But if you go up and say cocaine and then they go no, then they probably don't do cocaine. No cocaine. No cane there.
Okay. If you say, hey, do you want to hear my best Michael Caine impression? And they and they look really mad that you just teased my cocaine. If you say, hey, teacher, do you have a little bit time to stay after class to help me study? And they say, no, sorry, I've got to go run a drug cartel. There's a hefty chance that they're a little interested in some of the white nose clams.
Possibly. Nose clams, that's a new one for me. Interesting. So yeah, I hope that helps, Maddie. Hey guys, I'm so sorry to say this, but you have to go. And what I mean when I say... But it's not forever.
That's the best ending I've ever
But it's not forever. I promise you. This is me trying to tell you this is the end of our show where you leave. In theory, but you never... This is the awkward part. You gotta go. We want to say thank you to all of our listeners out there. Again, we're so happy with just like all the downloads and stuff we've hit so far. Zane is dying in the background. Don't mind that. But everybody who makes this podcast possible. Big thanks once again to our question askers, to Duluth Trading Company and their sponsorship to us, and our parents who birthed us. Mm-hmm. This has been Save Your Bacon. My name is Will.
My name is Will.
My name is Zane, and I hope you guys take it easy, because if it's easy, you should probably take it twice.
Unless it's cocaine. Then just take it once.
Then just do it once, realize it's not that great for you, and move on.